assignment given to me by God. It wasn't something that I was pondering about. It wasn't something that I was thinking about. It birthed through prayer. I was in prayer. And the Lord began to show me through visions what we were dealing with, the level of abuse, molestation that were going on throughout the length and the breadth of this country. And He began to tell me what the extent, the depth of this. And then the word came to me, this is a monster that you're dealing with. It has to be. The spotlight has to go on it. And He said, let your voice be silent no more. And that's how it came about. So talk a little bit about what you accomplished after this march. The first thing we want, the spotlight, we want it to be heard that we, the congregation, especially the body of Christ, that we will be silent no more over this issue. As parents, we will not turn our heads. As spiritual leaders, I have with me pastors and who are speaking out against this. And then we would like to see laws changed, stiffer penalty, no, and I believe Apostle Tony will touch on that, no bail for child molesters, this repeated incident that keep going on and on. And they're out of jail, they're in jail for 3 years and out, and then they're back repeating this mess. And we have broken children, they become broken adults. Thank you.
Now you got to take it up.
Yeah.
Not only the camera, the authority.
Okay, Apostle Tony. My first question to you is, a lot of persons have been asking, where is the church in all of this? We've had a number of organizations come together, and a lot of persons are saying the church is silent.
I think when you think about speaking out in public about it, yes, you haven't heard from the church as much as you should, maybe, but pastors preach it all the time. We talk to the congregations about it all the time. So it's out there, and people know that we have a problem with it, that we're against it, and that the children need a voice. This kind of thing going on in our community is destructive to the next generation. I was reading where the statistics shows that those young people who are promiscuous, sexually promiscuous, 45% of them have been molested. That's a problem. So we need to address it. We need to have a change. Our government's been talking for a long time now about some register for child molesters. That register, it doesn't take a great effort to cause that to happen. But somehow they have been dancing around it, and nobody have been standing up and saying, okay, let's do this. But it's time for us to have a register, for us to know who they are, for us to know where they are, and that they cannot be near any area where there's a preschool, where there's children congregating. It must not happen.
There may be some persons who may say, well, what does a march do to stop child molestation?
It will sensitize the community more that it is a problem. And it's not just one incident we saw in the news because somebody got arrested, but it's bigger than that. It's a lot bigger than that.
And talk about encouraging persons to come out and support this march.
Well, we want to encourage the community to come out and support the march. We must speak up for the children. The children don't have a voice. They can't speak for themselves.
if we don't do anything to protect our children, we could count the death of the Bahamas. You cannot destroy children and then bring them into adulthood whole and have a healthy nation. It can't happen. We need stiffer penalties. And I believe that we need penalties for those who have been allowing perpetrators to be empowered. So I'm hoping that the march would bring people out of the closet. A lot of the issues that need to be addressed, all you need is one or two persons to take the courage to bring it public. And I'm hoping that the expression, the ants come out of the nest. I personally believe that this march will be larger than any political rally we've ever had, because this is more significant in its outcome than any political rally and political election is. So this is a national issue, and it's been in our country far too long, and we've been too silent.
You may have some persons who say, I've never been abused, why should I attend this march? Talk about why this march is for every resident of my country.
Because every single abused child in the Bahamas becomes an adult who is unwhole, unhealthy. And even though I may never been abused, I have to live in that society and reap the consequences or become a part of the healing process for those who have been molested. So it's our business. It's not just because I have not been, but I am in the culture where those who have been molested are not as whole as they could be, and that impacts me as an individual.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I'd like to add the fact that the Life Community Church, the Bahamas Evangelical Church Association, and the Grand Bahama Christian Council is on board with what's happening here.
You still got to drop the fire.
Oh yes, it's a much needed march. Right now, this is an age-old problem, the child molestation, abuse, incest. It goes back to generations, in the past, and it's never been addressed. As children, we've been taught to wear it in silence. And so you have the bully in the school, or you have the school clown, and they're all desperately crying out in silence for their voices to be heard because of what is happening at home, or what is not happening at home. And it's this march, I believe, will break that silence, because the children will recognize that they have adults and others who are willing to pull them out of the trenches, out of the ashes that they've been thrown into. And so I'm praying and I'm believing that every mother, every father, and especially as mothers who carry these children, sometimes we are the ones who have them in silence because we don't want what has happened to be made known. But this is the time. God has made it known to the prophet that this is the time for us to speak up, and not just to speak up, but to speak out. And so, yes, we are coming out of the four walls, and we are saying that we want to see a change. We want to see a change as far as the judicial system is concerned, and the sentencing, and we want to see a change as far as the home is concerned. And so I believe this march is the alarm. We are sounding the alarm to break the silence.
You want to add something?
Yes, I just want to add, make my last clarion call to every voice in Grand Bahama, adult, past, present, for them to come out and join with us. This is not a woman's thing or a church thing. This is a Bahamian thing within our society. And we're taking it to Nassau also. So next month, be ready, Nassau. We will be in front of the courts, picketing for our voice to be heard. And this morning I got a release not only to Nassau, we're coming to the islands, for the children in the islands, for their voice to be heard. So we want grandfathers, uncles, because everyone has been touched, either indirectly or directly, by this monster for David.
Thank you. I have the flyer, but you can tell us the time.
Also, we were looking for everybody to gather at the court here and at 11 a.m. and we will start the march for the children. Harold the Gregory's building, and at the building we will have our pastor speak, and we'll have a few people who come forward, adults who were molested. They are willing to share their testimony. So Pastor Beckles was right. They're coming forth, and one lady said she's ready to release what she had for so long.
Okay. Hey, y'all look this way for just a moment.